السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا إلى يوم الدين وبعد. I just can't recall where we stopped, so we're gonna Justin's gonna read for us just a quick review. The last thing we read. تفضل, go ahead.
قال الشيخ رحمه الله: وكذلك يطعم من فرط في قضاء رمضان حتى دخل عليه رمضان آخر.
But what's before that? What was before that?
ويستحب للشيخ الكبير إذا أفطر أن يطعم، والإطعام في هذا كله مد عن كل يوم يقضيه.
So every person who has an excuse to break their fast, they don't have to do iftar or expiation or feed a mud. Oh, I forgot to bring you the mud to show you. Nobody reminded me. Khair, inshallah. So whoever breaks their fast, they just have to make up the fasting of Ramadan, unless certain people who has to feed with breaking, and there are people who has to feed without making up. So there are groups. There's a group who only makes up the Ramadan. Who are these groups? Bismillah. A person who's traveling and he has the excuse to break his fast. Two. A person who's sick. We have to differentiate here. Okay? Sickness are upon two categories. There are chronic sickness and there's a temporary sickness. Okay? A chronic sickness is someone who has a problem that goes on with him for life, okay, or for a long period of time, and this person cannot fast, whether it's to next year or year after. Khalas, they know they're not going to be able to fast. Like people who suffer from diabetes, for example, okay, people who suffer from heart problems, lung problems, they have some cancer or something like that. So we call that chronic sickness, meaning there's no hope in cure. When we say there's no hope in cure, just get clear. It's not no hope in Allah. We're talking about the case right now. So this person has no hope in cure in a sense of that the sickness itself, no cure yet. But Allah could cure him anytime. That's a different, we already believe that. That's not our aqidah class. This is a fiqh class. So that person who has a chronic sickness, they only feed and they don't fast. Okay? So this is the only category. Or people at an old age. People of an old age, they only feed for a person per individual, one person per day. So we said last time it was about $10 or so. $10, $12. So they will give out at the beginning of Ramadan $300, and this covers up their month of Ramadan. Okay. Some scholars says they give every day $10. Some scholars says they could wait till the end of Ramadan and then they could give it all at the end of Ramadan. Which one do you think is better? Yani at the start is a lot better in a sense of what? And khalas, the month started and you take it as a package and he doesn't know if he's going to live all month or not. It's fine if he gives it early. But then what if he dies in the middle of the month and no one to give it on his behalf, for example? Inshallah, he's not responsible because he wanted to give, but it's better to give it early. Okay, so this is the first category. Second category, the people who only makes up the fasting and they don't feed. Those are the ones traveling, ones who are sick. We're talking about flu, some sickness that comes, that came to them at a period of time and it will go away. Those people, they could just make up the days. لا الحمل فيها تفصيل. We'll get to it. A person who loses consciousness because of whatever reasons, passing out, or how could he lose consciousness other than passing out? Yeah, passing out, that's passing out. Ma'adallah, if a person drinks alcohol, they lose conscious. But if the person goes insane Passing out has to do with the amount of the time. How long of a day did this person pass out? So if the person passed out most of the day, then this person he has to make up that day. But if he passed out for a few hours, that person doesn't have to make up the day unless he broke his fast, like they fed him something, they gave him something to eat or drink to wake him up. So that person makes up that fast. Is that clear? So now, the people who make up the fast and they feed, this is the category that the difference of opinion came in. A woman who is pregnant, a sister who is in her menstruation, we spoke about this yesterday. She makes up the fast, she doesn't make up the salah. Okay. Now, a woman who's pregnant or breastfeeding, if she fears for herself only, she makes up the day. If she fears for herself and the baby, then she feed or she gives out for that day that she fasts. Okay. Because some ulama consider her to be in the category of those who are sick. But then you have a soul now, even though Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala's opinion is very, very strong in it, where he says there's no clear evidence on why she should feed. There's actually another opinion of Ibn Abbas that a woman of breastfeeding and pregnancy, she has the excuse to break her fast and she doesn't make it up. She could just feed. Okay, and she doesn't have to make it up because at that time she was not capable of doing that. So inshallah, whatever opinion you feel safe and close to. So if a person travels, we spoke about a person traveling. We says the condition of a person traveling is what? One, the safar is permissible, mubah. Number two, the distant. Number three, qabla al-fajr. He starts his travel before fajr. Number four, intention of what? Yeah, permissible. Number four, that he does not make up the travel to break. Remember that? Yeah, even if he travels before Fajr, if he goes to a place that is halal, but his intention is that I'm going to travel to get the permission to break my fast, he cannot break his fast. لا يصح له أن يفطر على ذلك. واضح هذا؟ تمام؟ نعم.
Traveling before Fajr, is it from all the four madhabs?
No. We're talking about Maliki madhab today. I'm only Maliki on this chair right now because we're giving a class. نعم تفضل.
ولا الصيام على الصبيان.
لا لحظة بقى اقرأ لي بقى الجملة اللي قبلها كلها الجملة كاملة.
وكذلك يطعم من فرط في قضاء رمضان.
لا before that, one more sentence before that.
إذا أفطر أن يطعم والإطعام في هذا كله.
كمان one more sentence before that.
ويستحب الشيخ الكبير إذا أفطر أن يطعم والإطعام في هذا كله مد عن كل.
نعم, so it's better for an old man or women to feed if they cannot fast, and upon a mud, which is 1.5 kilo, which is about 3.8 pounds of good rice or dates, good quality. So we'll just say for now $10 per day, even though some say no, it's less than that because the rice is cheap, it's $7 or so. Anyway, and just say $10 for now, so that person has to give for every day they break the fast. Now.
وكذلك يطعم من فرط في قضاء رمضان حتى دخل عليه رمضان.
طيب, sisters, this is a sister question. He said here a person who does not, okay, the ruling of someone who did not make up the fast of Ramadan and the next Ramadan came, after tomorrow's Ramadan, you have 5 days. What's the ruling? Don't answer now. I'll tell you the benefit of attending the classes right now. Go ahead. What's the ruling?
Doesn't the person have to make up those 5 days?
Hold on. Now, tomorrow's Ramadan. No, after tomorrow, inshallah, because no sighting so far. Okay? I broke my fast for 10 days last Ramadan because I was sick. I never made it up. Okay? Now, this Ramadan is coming. Will I be able to make up the 10 days? Impossible. There's aslan no 10 days to make. Now I'm going to fast which Ramadan? Muhammad? This Ramadan. What about the 10 days? $100. Oh, he actually did the calculation. Very smart. Which is good. He made it full. Do you agree with that? Yeah, mashallah. See, sisters know because they attended the class yesterday. That's it. That's why Ibrahim al-Adham or some of the Salaf used to say, قال تعلموا العلم فإنك لا تدري متى تختلج إليه. They said, learn knowledge because you never know when you will need it. When you learn, like now you know the answer in your mind, you feel good. Oh, I know this answer for sure. Just because you learned it. Imagine if you never learn, you just go on. So learning, even if you feel like you're not using it much, it will come to you. There's a period of time where you'll be like, I need this question. Oh, if I knew before, but now you know. Correct. So if a person delays Ramadan without an excuse, because they could be excuse, or some ulama says even if there's excuse, like a breastfeeding woman who goes on breastfeeding, Ramadan comes, she's still breastfeeding, she's not going to fast. So now to Ramadan. Anyway, if a person delays their fasting till next Ramadan starts, إذا أخر الصيام ولم يصم. Now he didn't fast the days he had before, and then this Ramadan comes. Now he still have to make up the days of Ramadan, and he has to pay for every day. واضح? Is that clear? No. Go ahead. He said, وَمَنْ فَرَّطَ. Farrata means what? That he was or careless in a sense of making up the days, that he was like, I'll just make them up, no problem. طيب, making up the days of Ramadan, the question is, you make it when? As soon as possible, huh? As soon as possible. Everybody as soon as possible? No, you make it before Ramadan because you have from Ramadan to Ramadan. Okay, as soon as possible could be a good answer, but summertime is hard to fast. I'm gonna wait till winter, no problem. So we're saying the easiest way to say what? You have from Ramadan to next Ramadan. Make it up anytime you want, but make sure that you make it before Ramadan. قالت عائشة كنت أؤخر الصيام إلى شعبان وذلك لخدمتي أو لانشغالي بالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. She said, I used to delay the fasting of Ramadan to Sha'ban of the year after. So Sha'ban is 1 month away from Ramadan. She says, yes, because I was busy serving the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. I was busy with Rasulullah. So Aisha كانت تؤخر الإيش؟ الصيام. فمن كان عليه الصيام, whoever has صيام. طيب, how could you owe days of Ramadan other than traveling? Let's talk about that. This is very important. If a person is traveling and he broke his fast, if a person was sick and he broke his fast, what else? Huh? Overslept in a days, يعني in certain days.
Let's say you broke your fast and you don't see it's already.
Meshi, if you broke your okay, if you broke your fast, whether excuse or not excuse, but there's another category that people don't pay attention to. Two categories. One, if a person reaches maturity age, or Islam enters Islam, or a sister becomes mature during the month of Ramadan. Yani if a kid becomes mature in the middle of Ramadan and he fasts the rest, because those 15 days that are left from Ramadan, he's obligated to fast. What about the first 15? Well, it's a package. Remember? If you look at Ramadan as a package, then you're going to say what? He has to make up the whole month. He has to make up those days that he missed. Second category that is more important now. Those people who did not practice Islam, and alhamdulillah, Allah guide them. Their repentance, part of the tawbah of the person is to do what? To make up the fast. They're able to, because I'll tell you, with salah, we're more flexible on making it up. Okay? For salah, we're more flexible on making up salah. But for siyam, it is possible to count. If somebody tells me, Shaykh, I didn't pray for 5 years. Or a sister or a brother comes and says, I am 22 years old now. This is my first year coming to the masjid, even praying, starting salah. That's a problem. To count those days, salawat, also impossible. How are we going to count it? صح? لكن صيام, possible. يعني if he's 15, okay, and then he's coming to the masjid at age 20, he missed 5 Ramadans. Easy to count. Okay, or one Ramadan. It could be one or two Ramadan. It could, but طبعا if he's 50 years old and he never fasted, that's trouble. I don't know what you're going to tell him. But so understand that this is very important. التوبة, repentance, is to stop what you are doing as wrong and fix it. So how do you fix fasting? By making up the fasting. Is that clear now? So you tell them you start making up those fasting and increase your sadaqat upon it. Yes, تفضل.
ولا صيام على الصبيان حتى يحترم الغلام
Well, and
أو تحيضا جاريا.
طيب. The Sheikh only mentioned two. The overall for the boys when they reach puberty age. Okay, puberty age for boys changes from puberty age for girls as age-wise and signs. They should know that. We should teach our children that. For girls, it's very easy. Okay, one of three things. We already mentioned it yesterday, so no need to repeat that, inshallah. But her menstruation is the major sign. If a girl is only 10 years old, she has menstruation, she starts fasting. She doesn't say, I'm still young. Or they say she's still young, she's only 10 years old. Okay? But if she doesn't have menstruation, there are two other signs, age 15 up to 15, and there's another sign. So if those signs exist, okay, growing hair in certain places of the body, so those could come before menstruation, remember. Or menstruation could come before. So whatever of the three comes first, she starts fasting. For boys, it's completely different, okay? For boys, number one is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They all just grow adult without knowing that they became. First, growing hair in certain places, especially the private part, that's one. Two, changes of voice. Three, ejaculation during a dream or whether they are awake. Okay, you start that. Four, not mental. No. Mental has nothing to do with that because they could be 5-year-old who's mentally growing and they could be 15-year-old who's a kiddish, but they one over the other. 15, like 15, huh? 15 as the age to start to be a mukallaf. 15, not 18, 15. Is that clear, inshallah? No. Some ulama mentioned for girls, menstruation before age 9 is problematic. Sometimes it's not menstruation, it's sickness bleeding or bleeding due to some problems. So that's why they say check and consider it. A 9-year-old, she wouldn't know if that's menstruation or not. Somebody else would have to help her, knowing the color, the color of the blood, the smell of the blood, and so on and so forth. And these things, don't be shy to learn it. And learning it makes your life easy. Instead of growing to be at 20, 30, 40 years old, and you'll be like, I'm going to go and ask a sheikh now. It's so embarrassing. You know what I mean? If you knew these things, khalas. If something happened, of course, you could always ask. But if you know it, it makes your life easy. For brothers, it's also helpful to know these things for two reasons. When you get married, that's one thing. And inshallah, if you're blessed with children, so you know how your children are and how they're growing and so on and so forth, inshallah. No.
Is there a concession when a girl, she's very young, 10, 11? Is there a concession based on the fact that she is obligated to fast, but she's very young and she's very weak? So is there a concession that's given for her?
Very young, very young doesn't define it. Very weak, she starts fasting, and if she feels weak or sick, then she breaks. So she's considered as a sick person. This is the case with everybody, by the way, not just age. You, not us as I am. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm young. Let's say I'm 20 years old. I wish. Okay, 20 years old. You're 20 years old. Now you start your fasting. 11 o'clock in the morning, you feel very dizzy, you're going to pass out, you feel very, very weak. Plus, you have the permission. Everybody has the excuse to break. So that's the case with everybody. You could have a 10-year-old who fasts better than a 20-year-old. So it's not really an accurate thing to do. It's per individual. Let's just say that. Everybody knows who they are. If you could fast or not, if you could take it or not, then you move on with it. Now, تفضل. Let's finish, inshallah. Try to finish. Yeah? Well, yeah? Okay. لا في we missed something. Oh, طيب. The other question that I want to ask, can they fast before maturity age? Yes, they can. Would it be accepted? Inshallah. Will they be rewarded for it? Inshallah. Okay, so differentiate between, is it obligatory upon them to fast, and is it rewarded and acceptable to fast? Okay, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the women said, Ya Rasulullah, Ali hadha hajj? Qala na'am wa laki ajr. She was carrying a baby, an infant or a 1 year old. She said, Ya Rasulullah, does he perform hajj? He said, yes, meaning you're taking him with you and you get the reward. And he's going to get the reward for hajj, even though it's still obligatory upon him to do hajj again. But the reward is giving, inshallah, guaranteed. So a person could get a lot of reward, for actions that they did even before maturity age, that transfer in to count for them when they are mature, maybe make up for mistakes or things like that. Now,
وبالبلوغ لازمة الأعمال بالذات فريضة. قال الله سبحانه وإذا بلغ الأطفال منكم الحلم فليستأذنوا.
so he's talking about something here. It's a branch of a side now, that when kids reach maturity age, there are other obligations and other rulings upon them. As one of them that the Shaykh have mentioned is that they ask permission before they enter upon you. And before they enter upon their parents, when they are in the room, they should ask permission because now they are mature. Okay, so maturity age carries a lot of other rulings other than just the Siyam. That's what the Shaykh is trying to say. Now,
ومن أصبح جنبا ولم يتطهر أو امرأة حائض طهرت قبل الفجر فلم يغتسلا إلا بعد الفجر أجزأهما صوم ذلك اليوم.
طيب, this is another case right now. If a person wakes up after Fajr, okay, if a person wakes up after Fajr and they are impure, or a woman wakes up after Fajr enters upon her and she's impure, and they become pure before Fajr, yani for administration, or a person becomes, whoever wakes up after Fajr and they are in impurity due to wet dream, impurity due to sexual relation, that's the impurity they're talking about. Or a woman who's menstruating and she becomes pure before Fajr. Okay? So the question is, فَلَمْ يَغْتَسِلَ, they do not shower till after Fajr. What's the ruling? أَجْزَأَهُمَا, it is permissible for them to start fasting. Is that clear? For sisters, that's very clear. Yeah? طيب. If a person had a reason, an impurity reason, before Fajr, whether it's a wet dream, whether it's a sexual relation with his wife, whatever that is, okay, before Fajr. Now they sleep. They wake up 10 minutes after the Adhan al-Fajr. They didn't shower. They are still what? Impure. Yes, they are impure. Now, they need to shower to do what? Salah. He's talking about Siyam now. Is their fasting accepted? Yes. So showering has nothing to do with fasting, it has to do with Salah. So if a sister becomes pure before Fajr, 15, 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour before Fajr, okay? She's lazy or she's asleep already, Aslan, she's asleep. She wakes up, Fajr 6 o'clock, she wakes up 6:30. She's gonna take a shower to do what? To pray Fajr. Is she? She is? Yes. But her Siyam is? No problem, correct. واضح؟ كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قالت عائشة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم would sleep, okay, on a major impurity, and he would wake up في الصبح, like after Adhan al-Fajr, and he would shower afterward, shower to pray, Salah. So, but he would make wudu before he sleeps, صلى الله عليه وسلم. Is that واضح هذا؟ طيب تفضل.
ولا يجوز صيام يوم الفطر ولا يوم النحر ولا يصوم اليومين اللذين بعد يوم النحر إلا المتمتع الذي لا يجد هديا.
Everybody's asking for Eid. Ramadan. It's too early. ولا يجوز صيام يوم الفطر ولا يوم النحر. It is haram upon us to fast the day of Fitr, the day of Eid, first day of Eid, and the day of Eid al-Nahr. And it's not permissible for a person to fast the 2 days after the day of Nahr, except a person who is mutamatti', who cannot find a sacrifice, then they fast 3 days. So they could start right after Eid وَالْيَوْمُ الرَّابِعِ, the fourth day, he does not fast that day unless he has a nadhr, okay, or he's doing a continuous fasting. So subhanallah, look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy and rules are. There are days that you have to fast and it's haram to break, and there are days that it's haram to eat, to fast, and you must eat. That's why the sunnah of going out for Eid al-Fitr is to do what? First sunnah of Eid al-Fitr is to eat. A lot of people don't do that. Eat anything, okay? Eat anything. A date, cup of water, drink something. Why? So you could say to yourself, I'm breaking my fast. Ramadan is finished now today. So some people, they delay till they come to Eid and pray. The sunnah is to break your fast before Eid. So you could say that khalas, you broke your fast. So it's haram to fast the day of Eid, regardless. Day of Eid is the first day and the first day of An-Nahr. Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr. Haram. Whether it's nadr, whether it's makeup, whether it's even if a person is doing a kaffara. You know how it is when Eid al-Adha, for example, if a person has a sexual intercourse during the month of Ramadan, it's haram. Okay, this person has to fast what? No, you guys been saying that and nobody corrects you. This is a fiqh class. It's not 60 days. Allah didn't say 60 days. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said what? شهرين متتابعين. He said consecutive 2 months. So that could be 58 days, 59 days, 60 days. So when you say 60 days, that's not accurate. Be careful. It's very important because it does make a difference in days. So this person is going to make up. He's going to start saying, you know what? I'm going to rest. I'm just going to rest after Ramadan, give myself a month, and then I'll punish myself with the ransom. I have to pay the fidya. I have to do the 2 consecutive months. 2 months. شهرين متتابعين. خلاص? It's only for sexual intercourse during the month of Ramadan. طيب. What does this person do now? He's going to start fasting. He goes fasting. Eid al-Adha comes. Now what should he do? And why do I say what should he do? Because most of the scholars says but she doesn't have to do anything even if she was willing. Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving. Some ulama says if the husband and the wife happens anything between them during the month, he's the one who does the kaffara, not her. Of course, he doesn't do 2 for him, 2 for her, 2 months. So it's good to travel in Ramadan. Anyway, it's a good advice for people who are married. مش متزوجين خلاص الله يعينكم. And it doesn't apply to anything other than marriage, by the way. Some ulama takes that ruling upon something else, like a person who during the day of Ramadan, because we have kids here, you understand. Anyway, that's 2 months. Now Eid comes. What is he gonna do, or he's gonna do? He's going to break that day of Eid and continue. So he didn't break. Why we say he breaks Eid? Because it's haram. طيب. If this person happens to fast 2 months, okay, 60 days, 15. If he's fasting all the way 50 days and he's like, man, I'm so tired. I'm just going to break for a day and come back. He has to start all over. Yeah. That's why we say if Eid comes, Eid is like a break. Because regardless of what you're doing, Eid is what? Haram to fast. واضح كده? It's a torture. First day of Eid. Like it's dislike for a person to fast the second 2 days of Eid. Eid is 10, 11, 12. And the 13, if there's no reason, then you could fast after that. فالأربع أيام العيد الأضحى, it's better not to fast. إلا إذا كان في نذر, or you make up, or you're used to fasting every day and you want to make, like whatever there is. But the day of Eid itself is haram. So no exception. Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha is haram. That's why some ulama says, why Rasulullah dislike for us to fast Friday by itself? Because it's like Eid for us. but it's not haram to fast Friday. It's disliked to fast Friday by itself, like it's disliked to fast Saturday by itself, like it's disliked to fast Sunday by itself. If you want to fast any of these 3 days, you have to fast a day before or a day after. So you could fast Friday, Saturday, no problem. You could fast Saturday, Sunday, no problem. You could fast Sunday, Monday, no problem. But you cannot fast Friday by itself, Saturday by itself, Sunday by itself. Because Rasulullah ﷺ said it's disliked, it's days of Eid, of celebration for us and for others. So we don't celebrate that day by fasting. Unless those days happen to be what? Arafah. Let's say Arafah and Saturday. Can I fast? Yeah, because it's Arafah now. We forget Saturday. What if it's Ashura, Sunday? Yes, Ashura is Sunday. I'm only going to fast Sunday. No problem. But if there is no reason, then you don't fast it by itself. So if you say, I'm going to fast this weekend because I have no school, you have to fast what? Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday. By itself, it's disliked, makruh. Not haram, but it's disliked. Now.
ومن أفطر في نهار رمضان ناسيا فعليه القضاء فقط وكذلك من أفطر فيه بضرورة من مرض.
طيب ومن أفطر في نهار رمضان ناسيا فعليه القضاء فقط. If a person breaks his fast, إذا أفطر ناسيا, if a person breaks his fast out of forgetfulness in the month of Ramadan, عليه القضاء فقط. Then he just make up the day. We're the only madhab who says that. The others, they say if you forget, please just don't eat and drink. Don't listen. Don't eat and drink. Let's not open the door for that. Don't eat and drink. Don't finish it off. Okay, don't finish it off. Don't say this sandwich. Allah has fed me and Allah has, And as I said before, if you see someone doing it, stop him. Because we're gonna. I know Shaykh Ahmad told you guys the opposite. He's online now. Maybe he's listening. But just nowadays people want excuse to do anything. Wallahi, he's gonna tell his friend, listen, I'm gonna forget and don't remind me. Like they already planned it, both of them. Like he's gonna forget. How are you gonna forget something? It's better. Why do we say he needs to make it up? I already explained. The reason we say as-saim al-nasi. They said, look, the only hadith Rasulullah said, whoever eats and drinks, let him continue, meaning to hold for the rest of the day, because Allah has fed him. We look at the hadith differently, both groups. The first group says, Allah fed him, so that means what? It's a gift, and let him hold for the day. Okay, perfect. We respect their opinion. We say, let him continue the day, we agree, out of respect. But he already did a nullifier of fast. He did eat and drink. And Allah fed him to remove the blame. This person is not haram. If a person comes and says, I know it's Ramadan, here's a sandwich, I'm going to eat it. This person, we're going to tell him it's haram. He has to make up the day. He has to withhold for the rest of the day. Some ulama would tell him to do what? Kaffara. Okay? Now, a person who forget, he eats and drinks, he still did the same thing that this guy did, but the difference is what? One is blamed and responsible, one is not blamed. But both of them, the result is they broke their fast. Okay, so they ate and drank, so they have to make up that day. This is our opinion, and we fight for it. I am even though I don't allow questions, but because you're paying attention. Fadda. No. If it's accidentally, out of forgetfulness, huh? Yeah. But if your dad said, Muhammad, you're fasting, you don't tell him, I didn't listen to that. I know you. يلا بسم الله. وكذلك من أفطر فيه لضرورة من مرض. Anyone who has a necessity of sickness, if he breaks the fast, he has to make up that day for sure, because he owes that day and he has to make it. No.
ومن سافر سفرا تكثر فيه الصلاة فله أن يفطر وإن لم
تنله
ضرورة وعليه القضاء.
والصوم أحب إليه. This sentence is the Hanafis would love it. I know. Whoever travels in a distance that you could shorten the salah, there is 20 opinion on that. What's the distance? 3 miles, 10 miles, leaving the city where you live and you can't see it no more, leaving the surrounding of the city where you live and you can't see it no more, traveling outside of the borders of the place where you are connected. So many opinions, so many opinions. So it's a lot. But if you're taking any opinion that you could shorten the salah, if this is the distance that you could shorten the salah, then that is the distance you could break your fast. Okay, that's one. Two, he said, "Falahu." This is very important, and please pay attention to this part. Okay, why do I say pay attention to this part? Because understanding fiqh is also beneficial in a way of bringing benefit and removing harm, and also to show how the deen looks at things. He said, even if the person doesn't have a necessity, because a lot of people nowadays, they tell you, listen, Sheikh, traveling at their time, they used to travel on a camel. Today, man, you're in a plane. Going to LA, it will take you a whole day. Right now, it will take you 1 hour. Nice Southwest flight, cheap too. It's advertisement. Okay. And then you're sitting down, you're so relaxed. Why would you break your fast? You're not in any hardship. The question is, do we break our fast because of hardship or because of the distance? That's the question. So the Islam said you break your fast because of hardship or because of distance? Well, easy way. You'll solve the problem. A guy who works as a construction builder, this person working in a building, he has to carry, let's say, sand or whatever equipment that he has to carry it from the first floor to the 50th floor or 20th floor, okay? On his back, up and down, up and down. Is this hardship or no? For sure. That person is not giving permission to break, and he is in full hardship. Someone on his camel traveling might not go through the hardship that this guy is going through, but Islam gave this guy permission to break because of a distance. So is it the distance or is it the hardship? Distant. So anybody who tells you the hardship is the wisdom behind it, you could tell him easily. Unfortunately, it's not. Because it's built upon the distance, and nowadays we know that traveling is easy, but it has nothing to do with traveling. It has to do with if I cross the distance, then I have to make up the then I could break it. But then he said, وَعَلَيْهِ الْقَضَاء. If you break, then you have to make up the days. But then he said something here that is very beautiful. قَالَ وَالصَّوْمُ أَحَبُّ إِلَيْنَا. He said, fasting is better for us. Yani, what does he mean that fasting is better for us? Huh? A person who's traveling, it is better for him to do what? To fast than breaking his fast if he can. What's the reason behind that? Huh?
It doesn't sound a good precedent if you're always traveling, just breaking your fast.
That always traveling, that's a different story. If a person is always traveling and they're going to a specific place, like working, he lives in Davis and they work in San Francisco. Is San Francisco a traveling distance? For sure. Okay, if anybody says otherwise, because 48 miles, more than 48 miles. That person's work is in San Francisco. His workplace becomes his resident place. So if he's traveling every day from Davis to San Francisco, he's not traveling. But a truck driver who's going between states is a different scenario. He is traveling. You understand that? So if you're commuting to school, now your school will become your home. You're resident in it in a sense of a period of time, like your home. So if you live here and you study in San Francisco, or the opposite, or you live in Bay Area and you come here, you don't consider it as traveling. You consider it as your home, so you don't break. But he says, وَالصَّوْمُ أَحَبُّ. He said fasting is better. Fasting is better as what? يعني the ulama differ. مثلا the Hanabila says it is better to fast. Some other ulama says it is better not to fast, like the Hanafi and the Shafi'iyya. Malikiya also agrees with that, that it's better not to fast. Like if you fast, Allah, they take upon the hadith. They take upon the hadith. Go ahead. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى وعلى الذين يطيقون فدية طعام مسكين فما استطعتم فهو خير لكم وأن تصوموا خير لكم. لكن نحن التأويل أن تصوموا خير لكم هذا النسخ. Okay, Allah said if you fast it's better for you. We say this shows if you fast during the time when it was allowed for you to break or fast or make up. Because at the beginning of Islam, the option was what? You could fast or you could just pay. Even if I'm living in Davis, I could pay for Ramadan and not fast. That was ruling. Allah said it is better to fast. So He's connecting better to fast to that ruling, not to the travel ruling. The others are saying it's better to fast, but take it as it is. قال النبي تفضل.
If you could elaborate a little bit on hardship, because hardship is kind of subjective. What could be hard for me to do?
It does change from a person to another. If you feel hardship in fasting in any sense, then it's your permission. فَكُلُّ امْرِئٍ أَدْرَى بِنَفْسِهِ. Every person knows himself. If your hardship is when you start fasting, you get dizzy, you pass out, you feel that you can't, you won't be able to survive, that's hardship. Somebody might not get to that level of hardship, but they still cannot fast because they struggle with fasting. So does hardship varies? Yes. It's based upon an individual. Everybody knows themselves. I could do it or I can't do it. تفضل. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ليس من البر الصيام في السفر. This hadith is what the Hanabila use the most. He said, Bukhari and Muslim, the Rasul said, it is not from righteousness that it is not from righteousness to fast while traveling. Yeah, the battery. But we say this hadith has a reason. A man who was traveling with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he passed out when he was traveling with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he insisted on fasting. And they told him, no, break your fast. He's like, no, I could do it. So he got up, then he passed out for a few, then he got. So Rasulullah قال ليس من البر الصيام في السفر. It is not from righteousness to fast while traveling. ليس من البر الصيام. So he said, for that reason. So if a person is capable of doing it, then they can, inshallah, they have the permission to do so. No. Go ahead.
Fasting to East Coast is okay, right? Fasting from here to East Coast. I'm going to New York.
Good luck. Oh, no, going is better. Yeah, because you'll be fasting less hours. Yeah, you'll be fasting less hours. It's better. But coming back, what are you going to do? Oh, you're going to say, no, I take the rukhsa. If you're going to fast when going to East Coast, 3-hour difference. So if you leave here, you're going to be fasting 3 hours less. Now, when you're coming back, you're fasting 3 hours extra. That's why I tell the brothers, if I do fundraising in Ramadan or travel for any reason, I tell them, please make the ticket before Fajr. Because I'm not going to do it anyway, for sure. I can't. Subhanallah. I'm the person who, when I get into the plane, I don't eat or drink. I'm not like into food, but at least water, or else I'll feel very dizzy. I get those electric shots on my left side. I don't know why. I've been traveling for Allah alam. Why is it? So when the plane takes off, my whole left goes like literally like electricity is running into it. So I drink a lot of water till I feel better. So I take the opinion that when you're fasting beyond the distance, you get the permission, inshallah, because it's a rukhsah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gave it to us. But again, what's more important here to mention is what? Who's better, the one who fasts or the one who doesn't fast? Exactly, that's it. We don't fight over it. We don't say I'm better than you because I fasted and you didn't. I get more hasanat than you. La, we're fine. Both are things. Kan Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sahaba says, we used to travel with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Minna sa'imun, from among us there are ones who are fasting. Wa minna غير صائم, from among us people who are not fasting. فلا ينكر المفطر على الصائم ولا الصائم على المفطر. A person who's fasting would not, complain about a person who's not breaking, or a person who's breaking would not complain about a person who is fasting. Everybody is based upon their capacity. تفضل. نعم.
ومن سافر أقل من 4 برود فظن أن الفطر مباح له فأفطر فلا كفارة عليه.
So whoever travels less than 4 burd. Al-burd in Arabic is a distance that they travel with, which is about 20 kilometer. So 4 burd will be about what? 80? I'll make it easy. No math questions in this country till I leave, until city. Davis has a problem with math, Shaykh Yusuf. Maybe you should do a math intensive class online. Who yesterday answered a question of 2 plus 2 equal? Ahlan. The 2 plus 2, mashallah. The excitement we saw in the class, everybody was like, Allahu Akbar. So we have 4 burd. Each distance is 40 kilo. So total is what? 20 kilometer each one. And we have 40. Yeah, 480. Yalla, bismillah. Anybody else? Okay, 1 burd, one distance, one measurement. If you have 4 burd, al burd is 20 kilo. So that's 80. Yes. Now 80 kilo is how many miles? 48, 49, 50. خلاص? So we'll just go there, 50 miles. So if a person is traveling, he's saying here, more than 50 miles, they could break their fast. If a person breaks their fast in a travel distance, according to us as a Maliki, that is less than 50 miles, 50, not 15, 50, then that person does not have to do kaffara. He only makes up the day because he thought it was okay to do so. So what's the distance of travel? To shorten salah, according to the majority, is 50 miles. I told you there's 20 opinions. Wallahi, I'm not just saying 20 opinions like a joke. Ibn al-Mundhir counted 20 opinions, 20 رأي, 20 قول in the distance. So if you see somebody, shorting salah or breaking because of a shorter distance than what you think, don't be surprised. Understand that he has a point too. He has evidence that he's relying upon. Like the minimum is what? Anybody know the minimum? 3 miles. La. He leaves the city. As soon as he's out of his city, where he can no longer see the houses where he lives, then he's able to shorten salah. So going from Davis to Woodland. Yeah, Woodland. You won't see Davis houses from Woodland, would you? You won't. So respect, what I'm saying is what? Respect other opinions that you can say. But majority of the ulama says 50 miles. خلاص 50 miles. No. Any person, okay, who eats or drinks or does any nullifier of the fasting for a reason of forgetfulness, for a reason of interpretation, and he thought it was okay to do. He thought it's okay to eat. He thought it was fine to do this. He thought. He didn't know it was not allowed. That person just makes up that day and nothing upon him. There's no kafara, there's no expiation, there's nothing upon him. No. So a person who intend to break his fast, يعني أفطر متعمدا, intentionally to break the fast, then this person has to do kafara. He has to make up the day and do the kafara upon that.
والكفارة في ذلك إطعام 60 مسكينا لكل مسكين مد بمد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فلذلك أحب إلينا.
So every 60 you feed 60 miskin, okay, as a kafara, as a major kafara for a person who nullifies the fast intentionally. You feed 60 people, and each one we already mentioned, so you could do $6 upon the individual. You could send it overseas, but with the price of the country where you live. So if you're going to pay your kafara, which is $300, you don't say, مثلا, Egypt, $300 is a lot of money. It doesn't matter. You pay 300 from you, and you send it to Egypt. Now that 300 in Egypt is going to make 1 million. It doesn't matter. Okay, where you live is where your kafara. Same thing as early fitr, zakatul fitr. If you're going to take it as money or you give it out as money, you give it out from where you live. So مثلا زكاة الفطر في مصر الآن كم؟ مش عارف الأسعار هناك. عايزين نشوف الرز بقى والحاجات دي هناك بكم. Now it's very expensive. بس it's not gonna be the $10. No way. لكن it doesn't matter. انت maybe $5.
For example, 30 people or $300. Can I invite 30 people in one day?
Yes.
Feed them?
Yes. So you could give the kafara to one person, all 300 to one guy. Or you could get 30 of them and feed all of them, or distribute the money upon them. All are okay.
And that's for 1 day.
Yes.
So imagine some business.
There's a difference between the major kafara of a person who nullifies the fast intentionally or a sexual relation, so on and so forth, and the feeding for breaking the fast. Feeding for breaking the fast is one person per day. The 60 is a nullifier. That's something different. It's a major kafara. No, go ahead. Yeah, so there's the other option that he has is that he frees a slave. There's no more slavery. Khalas, done. So you can't do that one. That one is gone. Or you do what? The third one is what? You fast 2 consecutive months. So this is the kafara if a person breaks intentionally. Now. And if a person intend to break his fast, not a nullifier, like intend, then this person doesn't have to pay expiation. He makes it up and repent. No. A person passes out during the night and he wakes up after Fajr, he has to make up that day. Why? He didn't have the intention. So we ask him, when did you pass out? Is this very important? If he passed out at Asr time and he woke up after Fajr, يعني مثلا Thursday is Ramadan. Tomorrow, to stay safe, after Dhuhr, I'm going to say, inshallah, I'll start Ramadan on Thursday. Is that good? يعني can we make intention tomorrow after Dhuhr? لا. Asr? لا. It has to be from Maghrib to Fajr. So if a person passes out before Maghrib and they wake up after Fajr, that person missed what? The intention of fasting or intending to fast at night, so they have to make up that day. So they fast that day, but they have to make it لأنه لم يبيت النية. لا ما فيش حاجة اسمها كده I'm gonna do it before Ramadan. You can say مثلا, you can say tomorrow after Maghrib I'm gonna do Ramadan. It's starting from tomorrow. لأنه Ramadan inshallah is Thursday. Nobody have seen the moon or the crescent, so it seems like it's gonna be Thursday for sure. So we cannot have the intention. لا تصح نية صيام رمضان إلا بعد دخول أول ليلة من رمضان. Except when you enter the first night of Ramadan. When is the first night of Ramadan? بعد المغرب من آخر يوم في شعبان. At the end of Maghrib or the beginning of Maghrib time, in the last day of Sha'ban, which is tomorrow after Maghrib. So if tomorrow you wake up in the morning and you say, inshallah, I'm gonna fast this Ramadan in Davis with the brothers and sisters, then a person passed out, okay, from Asr all the way to Fajr. نقول له لا, even though you had the intention, but you had it before night. You cannot have an intention before night. Intention of Ramadan has to be during the night, somewhere during the night. So if a person, مثلا, somebody didn't know that Ramadan was Thursday, ما يعرف, and he slept at Maghrib, he woke up 3 a.m., checked our Facebook masjid page, and he's like, oh, it's actually Ramadan tomorrow. Can he intend to fast? Yeah, no problem. If he woke up 5 minutes before Fajr, no problem. If he woke up after Fajr, too late. So what does he do? He fasts and he makes up the fast. يصوم ويقضي. ها خلص ايوه unless you break in the middle لابد يرجع الانتنشن. If you break in the middle you have to renew the intention. So this happened in 3 cases now. Easy. واحد إذا سافر, if a person travels, they broke the intention, so they have to renew it. If a sister menstruation period, she breaks, she wants to fast again, she has to have an intention of that days of fasting. Or if a person falls sick, that day he breaks his fast, then he intend to fast again and continue on to Ramadan. Now,
ولا يقضي من الصلوات إلا ما أفاق في وقته.
and he only makes up salah in I know Ibn Zayd mentioned salah here, but he only makes up he only makes up the salah that he wakes up in its time. I'll tell you, you guys are tired already, I know. خلاص, the class, we pushed Isha to 9 because we wanted to see the sighting in Hawaii. If they see the sighting, if they see the Christian, will pray Tarawih tonight. I'm sorry. Inshallah, they won't see it. Inshallah. فإذا نعم لحظة واحدة بس. If a person لو أن إنسانا أغمي عليه, if a person passed out at 11 a.m. أغمي عليه الساعة 11 خلاص. He woke up, he got up, not sleeping. He passed out. Different between sleeping, he's talking about passing out, not sleeping now. He passed out at 11 a.m. Okay? He wakes up from that at 11 p.m. Now, number 1, his siyam is what? His siyam is his siyam is invalid. هذا خلاص. ويقضي اليوم. He has to make up the day because he passed out during what? Most of the day. If you look at the day is 12 hours مثلا. He already passed out good 8-9 hours. That's most of the day. خلاص. طيب الصلاة بقى أيها يقضي. Which prayers? المغرب والعشاء. He doesn't make up Dhuhr and Asr. Why? Because when he passed out by the qadr of Allah at the time that he was obligated to pray, and it was out of his control to wake up. Why didn't we say the same thing for someone who sleeps? Because you could wake up. So that person was not able to wake up even if he wanted to. So, and this person missed the salawat that combines. So any salah that combines, if you pass out, that's what he's saying. When you wake up, you make them. So what are the salawat that combines? Dhuhr and Asr, Maghrib and Isha. And this is very important for sisters. Remember, let's test them. For sisters who are pure from their menstruation period. إذا طهرت المرأة بعد. Okay, this is the question. If you know, answer right away. If a sister is pure after Salatul Dhuhr, what should she make of? What does she make up? Dhuhr and Asr. How is she going to make up Asr when she just woke up? She is pure after Dhuhr. Why does she make up Asr? Okay, I need to get off camera to get angry. She's clean after Dhuhr. Dhuhr. She makes up Dhuhr and Asr. Asr didn't come in yet. What do you mean, oh yeah? Well, there's no oh yeah. It's yes, fish has no oh yeah. In fiqh, be accurate. She only makes up what? Dhuhr salah. Tamam? طيب. If she becomes pure at 3 a.m., what does she make? Maghrib and Isha. Because Maghrib, the Isha time extends to Fajr and Maghrib combines with Isha. If she becomes pure even 5 minutes before Maghrib, what does she make? Dhuhr and Asr. Okay? Dhuhr and Asr because she is pure. واضح هذا؟ فإذا اجتمعت الصلاة, she has to make up those salah. Same thing for a person who passed out. Whenever he wakes up, then he has to make up the salah that is combined. Now, keep going, huh?
فيعظم من شهر رمضان ما عظم الله سبحانه ولا يقرب الصائم النساء بوضع ولا مباشرة ولا قبلة بلذة في نهر رمضان ولا يحرم ذلك عليه في ليله ولا بأس أن يصبح جنبا من الوسط.
So a person should not fall into fornication, for not fall into sexual relation or even fornication, which is haram, of course, but should not even, he said, should not even get closer to his wife with a touch or a kiss, so he wouldn't be able to control himself in the day of Ramadan, and it's not haram upon him during the night time. And if a person wakes up junuban, impure from a sexual relation, in the wake up in Ramadan, then this person has to do what? Then they could just shower anytime they wake up, but they continue fasting. هذا لا يضر الصيام. It doesn't nullify the fasting at all. And whoever falls into a desire during the day of Ramadan by touching or by kissing, and then this person has to make up that day, and there is no kaffara upon him. But if he intend and he ejaculates, not pre-ejaculation, ejaculates, then this person has to do kaffara.
ومن امتد في نهر رمضان بمباشرة أو قبلة فأمدى لذلك فعليه القضاء وإن تعمد ذلك حتى أمنى فعليه الكفارة. ومن قام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه.
طيب, we'll stop here inshallah because this is the end of the chapter anyway. Whoever reads في Ramadan, whoever prays in Ramadan at night time, قيام الليل in Ramadan, it could be tarawih in jama'ah, it could be your own prayers at home, 20 rak'ah, 8 rak'ah, 12 rak'ah, whatever rak'ah that you choose, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive your sins. And كان السلف, they used to pray in their masajid 20 rak'ah, and then they pray 3 rak'ah witr. So it's a sunnah of the salaf. Those people who say it's a bid'ah and they go against, this is a sign, we need to stop. Praying, the point is praying jama'ah. Aisha تقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما زاد على 13 ركعة أو 12 ركعة. He wouldn't pray more than 11 rak'ah or 13 rak'ah. That's Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم's action in other than Ramadan, and in Ramadan he used to increase his ibadat. But if you want to stick to the 12 rak'ah, 8 rak'ah, fine. If you want to do 23 rak'ah, completely fine. You have the sunnah to do it. You could do it at the masjid as 8 rak'ah, and then you go home and finish it off and finish witr. The only thing I want to mention here before we finish, inshallah, the book, alhamdulillah, we're concluding at least the chapter of fasting, is that if a person prays in jama'ah, they could pray all 11 rak'ah, okay? And then they make up the rest of the 20 after, but they don't do witr again. That's one opinion. They don't like that. Some people say, I want to keep witr till the end. No problem. You could pray with us 8 rak'ah, and then you pray witr 3 rak'ah. In the 3rd rak'ah of witr, you get up and pray 1 more rak'ah. So that's total of what? 4 with 8, that's 12, and finish the rest on your own. So you have all options, inshallah, to do it, and it's permissible to do either or, inshallah. Because of the time, the moon, the crescent has not been sighted anywhere. Okay. The crescent has not been sighted anyway, so inshallah our first tarawih will be tomorrow and Ramadan will be on Thursday, inshallah. Kullu aam wa antum khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and make this Ramadan as the most fruitful and beneficial for all of us. Any question before we finish? So because we told people at 9 o'clock we're going to pray because of the sighting. The reason we delayed Salah, بس عشان ما حدش يزعل ولا انت زعلان؟ طيب الحمد لله. The reason is we were waiting for Hawaii. We're still waiting because their Maghrib just came in. So if no one confirmed from Hawaii that they have seen it, like the last state, then it's impossible to be seen. Even if it's cloudy, Rasulullah said, if it's cloudy, you should do what? Complete Sha'ban 30 days. فاحنا we're going with that. فإذا غمي عليكم فأتموا شعبان 30 إن شاء الله. Now تفضل. Now it's time for questions, but quick questions إن شاء الله. تفضل. The elder first. أيوه. ما أنت ما حضرتش معنا في أول الكلاس. شفت بقى. So he said the intention. What do you guys think? What do we say for the intention? MashaAllah, they're all Malikis now. For the whole month, yalla, one package. الإمام مالك رحمه الله يقول النية في الليلة الأولى لرمضان كله. Some other ulama says لا, every night has a niyyah. Every night has an intention. تمام؟ طبعا احنا قلنا النية سهلة. النية intention is easy. Doing what? Eating suhoor is an intention. because nobody wakes up at 4 o'clock to eat. Some people do, but not normal. Praying Taraweeh is a niyyah. Just thinking to yourself that tomorrow is Ramadan is a niyyah. خلاص. Niyyah is very simple. لكن الإمام مالك يقول النية الواحدة تكفي للشهر. One intention is good enough for the entire month. الله أعلم. سؤال؟ تفضل. Yes. لا الأخ معلش. Elders than younger. Respect. تفضل. نسيت السؤال. طيب الحمد لله.
But you know, Sheikh, it's like we're all Muslim, right?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And Ramadan is mandatory.
Alhamdulillah.
I mean, we always pray to God to reach this month, right?
تمام.
And why there is, I have to make, my need is to fast every Ramadan,
تمام.
right? I mean, is that enough or is...
لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما الأعمال بالنيات. يعني كل عمل له نية. Every action has an intention. مثلا, if you wake up one day in the morning and you feel like you want to fast that day for Allah, can you do that? طيب, what's the difference between doing that and Ramadan? يفرق بينهما النية. يبقى نية الأجر الفرض غير نية السنة. فجعلت النية للتفريق بين العمل. Intention is made to differentiate between the action that this is wajib and this is sunnah. This is mandatory and this is sunnah. مثلا, you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm going to fast today. You could do that. Ramadan, you can't. Why? Because you have to do it before Fajr. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من لم يبيت النية فلا صيام له. If you don't have the intention from the night. فالنية هي كأنها line between the actions. مثلا, الآن, if you stand up here and you pray 4 rak'ah, and I stand up and pray 4 rak'ah, how do I know which 4 rak'ah is for what? النية. My 4 rak'ah is عشاء, your 4 rak'ah is sunnah, and so on and so forth. فالنية طبعا مهمة للعمل. لا يصح العمل إلا بنية. Action cannot be intentionally. We cannot just say we're Muslims and we're going to fast Ramadan inshallah every time Ramadan comes. لا كيف؟ طيب, what if you sleep before, مثلا, you didn't know that Ramadan is Thursday. Wednesday night you went to sleep. Something happened, you didn't wake up. You woke up at 11 a.m. Thursday. You search online, they tell you it's Ramadan. لا يصح. لماذا؟ لأنك لم تبيت النية. You didn't have the intention. But I had it as a Muslim. هذا لا تصح. نية الإسلام غير نية العمل. Every action has an intention. واضح؟ حتى يفرق بينهما في الأجر. نعم. Yes.
So if someone didn't fast for a while, they were not practicing 3-4 years, and when they do the fasts for Ramadan, and let's say they fast Monday and Thursday, do they get the reward for fasting Monday and Thursday, or do they just get the reward of fasting Ramadan fasts?
Yeah, if they're making up the days,
they're making up the days that
they get both. Okay, if you're making up days from Ramadan in other than the days that are virtual, then you get the reward. مثلا, لو عندنا, if a person has 5 days he didn't make, let's say he didn't fast, okay? He's gonna do them every Monday and Thursday. So what does he get as a reward? Fasting Ramadan, making up, and fasting on Monday, Thursday as a sunnah. No problem. Like if a day is specified to fast, زي عرفة, Ashura, they will say it's better to leave it to that day. So you don't fast Arafah to make up Ramadan. Why? Because Arafah now has its own day. خلاص? لكن Sunnah fasting, you can get a lot of reward by doing the Sunnah. If you fast 13, 14, 15 of the month, مثلا. تمام? Now, what are you getting? You're getting the 3 days of every month. And if they happen to be on Monday, then it's a virtue. If you're making up Ramadan in those days, is extra. If you're doing it for getting extra, like so many, you could add so much reward. Like the brother asked, and niyyah is what gets you the reward. مثلا, if I ask you right now, what's your intention for coming to the masjid tonight? You could say, what? I came to pray Isha. خلاص, you get the reward of Isha only. Somebody else will say, I came to do i'tikaf, I came to pray Isha, came to see my other brothers, I came to give salam, I came to spend time in the masjid, I came to read Quran. Now, you got the reward of what? Isha. He got the reward of 5 million things. Both got reward, but he got more. So intention does what? Adds on. لذلك يقولون النية أجدى من العمل. Intention could even get you more higher than the action itself. مثلا, you're at home right now. You intend to come to the masjid to pray Isha. Something happened. You came out, your car broke, or مثلا something happened. Now, you didn't come to the masjid, but you got the reward. يبقى النية. Intention is very beneficial when you renew it. That's why they say renew intention. Have more intention on actions. Any question? تفضل.
So traveling for
Distant and what? The days are 3 days or 21 salah. You could shorten your salah for 21 salah or 3 days. After that, you become a resident of that place. If you know that you're coming back to your resident area, this is very important. So give me 1 second. So if I'm traveling to Egypt, I have a ticket going on the 15th, coming back on the 30th. Now, when I get there, I have 3 days to shorten my salah. After that, I'm a resident. But if I'm going to Egypt to visit, and I don't know when I'm coming back, I'm considered to be a traveler all the way till I come back to my residence. Most of us, when they travel now, you go and come back ticket. خلاص. So you have 3 days, 21 salah to shorten and to combine. No. Yes.
بالنسبة للكفارة بآخر الشهر، أنت حكيت إني أقدر نعطيها لشخص واحد صح؟
No.
طيب ممكن يصرفها في شيء ثاني غير الموية أو غير الأكل.
Up to him. لذلك العلماء يقولون it's better to give him food. Give your kafara in feeding as food. But if you decide to give money and you take that opinion, you could give it to one person. If he takes it and spends it on, if he pays his car insurance with it, that's not you're not responsible for it. However he used it, you gave it out. And however that that's why you give it to a needy person. Okay? Because the needy person most likely will be getting things that benefit him, food and things like that in the house. But if you buy food and give it to him, nowadays it's very rare to find someone who accepts food, يعني who takes it. والله. تفضل. آخر سؤال بقى إن شاء الله عشان الصلاة. ما نأخر الناس هتزعل علينا. تفضل. Go ahead. No. No.
Our intention is to use that money for iftar.
تمام.
However, you cannot time it exactly to coincide with Ramadan. Would that be
إفطار تقصد إيش؟ عيد الفطر يعني؟ إفطار الفطر؟
just before Ramadan? The money arrives there within 2 weeks before Ramadan.
أنت تقصد صدقة الفطر أم إفطار الكفارة؟ أيوه. تمام. تمام. تمام.
And that money, there are of logistics.
تمام. Send it before Ramadan. So it could arrive in Ramadan. But nowadays, if you wire transfer, it takes the maximum is 3 days, or 15 minutes Western Union. So you're able to. Like if you feel like it's gonna be late, مثلا bank transfer takes 15 days, then you do it before Ramadan or do it at the beginning of Ramadan so you could cover it up. ليس مشكلة. المشكلة تحدث في صدقة الفطر. الفطر has to be giving out when? Before Eid, before Salah. So some of us will wait till the last day and then they will give their zakatul fitr out overseas. It will arrive 3 days after Eid because that's when they could take it. هل ده يحسب ولا لا? That's a problem. فننتبه لهذا الأمر. That's why I always recommend, I personally do that, and brothers know here, we used to do that, collect money from them and just send it a week before Ramadan is over. So people know for sure that they will get it. But not a day or two, because a day or two our banks back home close for Eid. So they won't get it. فأنت your صدقة, make sure not just to give it out وخلاص who cares. لا, make sure that when you give it out, it arrives on time and people benefit from it. No, تفضل.
If someone fasting Mondays and Thursdays,
Uh-huh.
so Arafat is on Monday, so he will get both reward.
Yes, for sure. Combination of intention gets you more reward. Sisters, طيب, no. Go ahead. Last question from sisters, because to be fair, huh?
They said that you can't really say, like when you're reading Quran, for example, like in sujood, you can't say it in Arabic, in English, in a language other than Arabic. Is that like, can you say it in English?
The problem is you started your question. You started your question by saying I was in a class of Hanafi, so if I say anything right now, they'll be mad. You shouldn't say that next time. Just say, what do you think of someone like that? Because you could make your dua in any language. Al-Ahnaf, Arabi, for khutbah, for salah, is a pillar of the action. Without it, the action is nullified. We completely disagree with that. We don't. You could make your salah, in the language that you feel the best at, especially if you don't learn Arabic yet, okay? But if you could do it in Arabic, it is preferable, it is better. But reciting and so on should be in Arabic. So just make your dua secretly. Don't tell them that you made it. وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَى نَبِيِّنَا